Good evening from Brighton's Royal Pavilion on the day the Sussexes came to Sussex. Harry and Meghan go walkabout, a first visit here for the royal couple, and it's a huge warm welcome as Harry hands out the high fives. Cheers for the Duke and Duchess as they meet young fans on their route, and no one is left disappointed. Good evening from Brighton on the day the Sussexes came to Sussex. A day of walkabouts, flag waving and smiles as Harry and Meghan mingled with the crowds who turned out to greet them. They were here where better than the Royal Pavilion, built by royalty as a seaside escape with 200 years of history. The sun was out to greet the Duke and Duchess of Sussex on their first official visit to the county bearing their name. Here's Malcolm Shaw.
Since Prince Harry married Meghan Markle at Windsor in May, the couple have charmed many with their friendly and relaxed manner, and today was no exception. Outside the historic Royal Pavilion in Brighton, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex wasted no time in charming a new generation of admirers, the children of Queen's Park School.
It was amazing! It was really good. I loved it!
Well, Meghan said, "What's your name?" Yeah. And then Harry asked all of the class which way is Queen's Park, and then everybody pointed that way.
This was Harry and Meghan's first official visit to the county as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The Queen bestowed the titles on them on the day of their wedding. Prince Harry is only the second Duke of Sussex in history. The title was first used more than 200 years ago by Prince Augustus Frederick, and Meghan is the very first Duchess of Sussex. Inside the iconic Royal Pavilion, the Duke and Duchess learned more about the building's history and visited the newly restored saloon, where Harry's great-great-great-great-uncle, the Prince Regent, entertained his many guests in typically extravagant and flamboyant style.
I said these are the colours of monarchy, silver, crimson and gold, and the Duke of Sussex, I looked at the carpet, which you really can't fail to notice, and suggested that there might be a smiling face underneath the ottoman here in the middle of the sunflower, which I thought was rather touching remark.
The royal couple moved on to meet staff, volunteers and service users at the Survivors Network, which helps those who've experienced sexual abuse. Saba Kaiser was affected as a child and now works for the network.
I found that every step of the way during my journey as a child, I was failed miserably. And so now as a 43-year-old woman and being under the umbrella of Survivors Network has given me the empowerment, if you like, to be the face, to speak out.
Hundreds turned out in the autumn sunshine to welcome the royal couple, many grabbing the opportunity for a royal selfie.
It's our first time to see Prince Harry with Meghan, so it's an honor for us to see this moment.
We're excited to be here, really.
Absolutely love them both. Yeah, cheeky Harry, and Meghan's just so beautiful and pretty.
This may have been their first time in Sussex as the Duke and Duchess, but many here were left hoping it won't be too long before Prince Harry and Meghan are back. Malcolm Shaw, ITV News, Brighton.
Brilliant scenes, a great atmosphere today as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex enjoyed their time with royal well-wishers here in Brighton, the third of 5 special engagements across the county. The royal couple's busy schedule began in Chichester and a visit to Eads House, where they were shown one of only 2 copies of the American Declaration of Independence. They then travelled along the coast to Bognor Regis to open the University of Chichester's Technology Park. They then headed here to Brighton and Hove and the iconic Royal Pavilion before walking a short distance to the Survivors Network. Their final engagement this afternoon was in Peacehaven at a youth centre. So today's royal visit started in Chichester, and that's where Sally Simmons is. And what a welcome, Sally. What was the reaction of the crowd?
Well, they're around 5,000, so really good for Chichester, and it felt a very close, a very intimate visit. West Street here is actually quite narrow, so no one was very far away, and it seemed as if almost everybody got to talk to either Harry or Meghan. Now, it all went really quiet as the cars turned the corner, and then suddenly the crowd realised they were here. The entourage swept into Chichester just after 10:30 this morning, screams of delight as Prince Harry and Meghan stepped into West Street. Well, the excitement is infectious. The flags are waving, the posies are waiting for the couple's first ever visit to Sussex. Classrooms in Chichester must have been empty as youngsters flocked to see the royal couple.
He said, why aren't you at school? And I said, because I'm home educated. And he said, is that really fun? And I said, yeah, it's super duper fun because I get to do my work in my pyjamas.
Children from Westbourne House School handed over their handmade A to Z of Sussex.
I told Harry that we missed double Latin, and then he gave me a high five. Yeah, we're never washing our hands.
Probably the youngest in the crowd was 5-month-old Grace.
This is Grace, and Grace was born on Meghan and Harry's wedding day. And my husband was watching the wedding whilst I was in labour.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex did so much more than shake hands, dropping down to greet the little ones at their level. From Toronto to Chichester, we do indeed cherish our royal family.
Harry came over just after Meghan and was very, very sweet and asked him his name and his age and everything else. It was very, very lovely.
The couple visited Eads House to see the Sussex copy of the American Declaration of Independence. It had lain hidden for 50 years in the council archives before being discovered and verified this summer. One of just 2 parchment copies in the world. Well, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex then went on to Bognor, where they opened the new Engineering and Digital Technology Park of Chichester University. They unveiled the plaque in front of a large crowd. Then some of the students gave a demonstration, and I expect they might have practiced that one a fair few times. The Student Chamber Orchestra then played Vivaldi's 4 Seasons to round off the visit. Well, here in Chichester, I have heard so many people talking on their phones, telling their relatives what an absolutely fantastic day it was, how much they enjoyed it. And Sangeeta, we have been promised that they will most definitely be back here.
Let's hope they are, Sally. Meghan looks great, doesn't she? Even in safety goggles. Well, we'll have more on Harry and Meghan's first visit to Sussex together coming up. And Holly is also with us too. Now, Holly, the sun came out for the royal couple.
It did, didn't it? Yes, well, they're very much fit for Duke and Duchess.
Well, more from you later on. Thank you very much. Now it's time to go to Fred in the studio with more of the day's news.
Back now live to Brighton, where Sangeeta joined the crowds earlier to welcome Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Sangeeta, you've had a lovely day, haven't you?
Fred, I've had a brilliant day. You know, wherever this couple go, there is so much love and affection for them, and that is wonderful to see, and you just get carried away by it all, really. Now, if you're wondering why you've never heard the title Duke of Sussex before, that's because it was last used 175 years ago by a prince whose colourful private life led to his wives being shunned by the rest of the royal family.
Crowds lined the streets around Brighton's Royal Pavilion in the 1960s to see the Queen. This part of the south coast has a long link to the royal family and has often been favoured by royalty. The seaside town became very fashionable in the late 18th century. George, Prince of Wales, was so attracted to its weather and seawater treatments that he built the home that later became the Pavilion. George's brother was Prince Augustus Frederick, and in 1801 the King, their father, made him the first Duke of Sussex. Liberal and unconventional for his time, the Duke was said to have been the favourite uncle of Queen Victoria, who you can just see here later in life holding a sunshade at her Diamond Jubilee parade. Long before that scene, the Duke had escorted Victoria down the aisle during her wedding to Prince Albert. But his private life was complicated. He secretly married Lady Augusta Murray in Rome without the consent of the King. His second marriage was to his former mistress, Lady Cecilia Underwood, but again no royal permission was sought or given. The upshot is that neither marriage was recognised, and so there was never a Duchess of Sussex to grace Brighton and its royal buildings until now.
Now, as well as touring these fabulous buildings of Brighton Pavilion and visiting Chichester and university buildings in Bognor, the Duke and Duchess's visit has been focused on people. Late this afternoon, Harry and Meghan visited a youth centre in Peacehaven for something close to their hearts. Sarah Saunders is there for us. Sarah, an important part of today's visit.
Very much so. The Duke and Duchess specifically chose to come here today when youth groups from across the region were gathered to discuss mental health. It's something that the royal couple have made a point of speaking out on before in a way that would have been uncharacteristic for the royal family not very long ago, but it meant a great deal to the young people here today. After the opulence of the Royal Pavilion, this afternoon the Duke and Duchess of Sussex visited the Joff Youth Centre in Peacehaven. Young people from across East Sussex are here discussing well-being and mental health, a subject this generation of royals have been keen to highlight.
We have been working on mental health for a very long time as part of our campaign, and the event that we're planning is really focused around that. So to have someone like Meghan listen to us, it really makes us feel so involved with politics, and it really encourages us.
They took their time out of their royal business to come and understand one of the biggest things that affect England today.
So it was really nice to have a one-on-one conversation with them, not as if they're with the royal family, but just it was a normal conversation between just normal people.
These youth representatives are working out how to lobby adult decision makers about how mental health issues are dealt with in the area.
I think it's important purely because there's like an extreme stigma around mental health, especially in young people and older people, to be quite honest, because it's not really something you really want to be talking about, because it's not really something you're really happy about having.
All the people who were facilitating were absolutely clear that just be yourself, and the royal couple were coming to visit them doing their thing, so it was just fantastic.
The royal couple had the chance to speak to those taking part and even talk privately with some who have experienced mental health problems themselves.
It was nice that they could actually understand what I was talking about. They wanted to listen to me, I wanted to listen to them. They valued my opinions, and it was nice to actually talk to them.
I don't think you're going to get to voice your opinions, and then all of a sudden you're just thrown in the deep end, obviously, with a prince, so it's crazy.
Yeah, it was very exciting, very terrifying, but definitely worth it, and if I could, I would do it again.
This part of today's visit to the region confirms the young royals' determination to use their profile to tackle stigma and put a spotlight on mental health. Sarah Saunders, ITV News, Peacehaven.
It's been a great day here. We couldn't have asked for better weather, which is where Holly comes in. You must have planned this.
Well, I did my best, and I think the crowds appreciated it too. I was in amongst them earlier, and just take a look who I found. Now, Jackie, I think these two have been almost as popular today with everyone as the actual royal couple. Did you get them made specially?
We had them for the engagement, and my husband and I have taken them everywhere with us. Every event, wedding, birthday, anywhere, work even. It's been great, and it's lovely seeing them today.
And you have been going to royal events since you were quite little, haven't you?
Yes, my father used to be a freelance photographer, so he used to attend like the opening of the Marina, the Metropole, when Charles and I came here, all sorts, so been great.
Christine, did you manage to catch a glimpse of the royal couple?
Just a glimpse, but enough, of a happy couple on a really glorious day. Such a happy couple, and so beautiful on a day when everybody else is talking about Birmingham, conferences, Brexit. Forget it. This is what we want.
And Mel, are you a bit of a royalist?
I'd say I've got respect for the royals. It's just good to see a capitalisation of diversity in the monarchy now. Speaking as a Brit with half-Aryan heritage, it's exciting.
A lot of people celebrating the diversity that Meghan has brought to the royal family. But Holly, you have to go now.
Yes, I'm off to prepare my forecast.
We'll let you go and do that. But I can't tell you, it's been a fabulous day in Sussex, a day to remember. Here's Holly now with your full forecast.
Great Western Railway sponsors the ITV Meridian weather.
I'm now inside the Royal Pavilion. This is the banqueting room where the Duke and Duchess were shown around earlier. Now, of course, today we've been very lucky with the weather. It's been very mild, quite warm actually in the sunshine, and we have had some spells of that coming through. And it's a similar story into the coming days for tomorrow and indeed for Friday as well, I think. We keep this mild air in place, some spells of sunshine, and most of the time is dry too. So as we move through this evening and tonight, cloud will come and go. Largely, I think, a dry story. You might, though, where you do see any cloud breaks, catch some mist and fog patches, and also our temperatures will depend upon those cloud amounts. So I think typically double figures, but locally down into single digits where we get some clear breaks. And then for tomorrow, we may have some mist and fog around at first, otherwise you may well have cloud to begin the day. But both of those should tend to lift and break a bit. So I think we will see some spells of sunshine once again coming through for tomorrow, though the exact cloud detail perhaps a touch tricky to pin down exactly. Top temperatures like today, I think high teens, possibly knocking on the door of 20 degrees for some spots too. And finally, the outlook, well, more of the same on Friday. Saturday, unfortunately, a bit of a change. It looks wet, the winds pick up as well. Brighter, but feeling fresher for Sunday.
Great Western Railway sponsors the ITV Meridian weather.
Did you know the Royal Pavilion was once a World War I hospital? Well, as you can see, the architecture is incredible. Built for the then George, Prince of Wales, who was told by his physicians that he'd benefit from Brighton's climate. Good sea air. And what a backdrop it was for today's royal visit. The day Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, made their first official visit to Sussex. Well, the ITV Evening News follows shortly. We leave you this evening with a look back at the day's events from all of us here and Fred in the studio. Thanks for watching. Good night.